Hi Falcons, I just wanted to give you a little Frida tour of my house because I was looking around and I realized I am such a huge fan of Frida Kahlo that she is everywhere in my house. And I'll start by showing you the shirt I'm wearing today. It's my Frida blowing a bubble. And of course you've already seen my Frida mask, but I wanted to share a couple of other Frida things I have. My daughter painted me a Frida water glass. I also have, which I'm so excited about, I have tickets because Frida Kahlo's paintings are going to be shown in Chicago this coming summer. It was actually supposed to be this summer, but because of the pandemic, it got postponed till next summer. So I have my tickets to go see Frida Kahlo's work on display with my family. Behind me, I have a painting that my daughter did for me years ago because she knew how much I loved Frida. And now when I'm walking into my other room, you could see I have a book about Frida Kahlo and all of her quotes, things that she said during her lifetime. I also have a whole wall. When I was in Mexico, I don't know if you could see because of the light, picked up these pictures of Frida Kahlo and hung them in my room. And then I walk over here in my house and I had this beautiful Frida Kahlo candle. And then I was thinking, oh my gosh, I have even more. So walk with me upstairs. I'm walking upstairs in my house, going to my bedroom, and you would not believe, but I have 3 pairs of Frida Kahlo socks. These are my new ones, they're my favorites. I have Frida Kahlo earrings, a Frida Kahlo necklace, and then I have, I don't know if you could see, 3 Frida Kahlo t-shirts, and my personal favorite, my Frida Kahlo shoes. So when I say I am a fan of Frida Kahlo's, you know I really mean it. Hi guys, I am coming to you live from my kitchen floor because this is the best spot for me to hang this fantastic picture because my refrigerator is magnetic. And I am sharing with you a very famous painting done by the artist Frida Kahlo. So I would love it if you would take a quick second and just quietly notice what is happening in this picture. There is so much to take in and see when we really look at the work of Frida Kahlo. Looking here, I could see so many interesting things. I see, first of all, I notice Frida. And we know that Frida is popular for her self-portraits. She often painted herself because, again, we know that she was a lot of the times in bed and she was alone so often that was the subject she knew how to paint best. Looking at her expression on her face, shout out, how do you think Frida is feeling in this picture? Does she look excited like you do when you're going to school? Does she look sad? Does she look angry? She's got a very serious look on her face. And looking at her friend, the monkey, he has that same expression on his face because she felt that he was one of her best companions, actually. She loved to have exotic animals. And this painting, which is actually called Self-Portrait with a Monkey, is a picture of one of the monkeys that she had at her home at the Casa Azul in Mexico. Looking at the monkey, we can see they are very closely connected to each other in a couple of different ways. And she shows us that. One, pay attention to how the monkey has protective arms around Frida. They had a bond because they were alone together so often. She often felt that these animals were her greatest friends. If you also pay attention and we look at the red ribbon around his neck, it's almost like a leash. And we follow that red ribbon around her neck, and that same ribbon continues up into her hair. Now, when I saw this, I had two different schools of thought. Knowing how sad Frida's life was, it made me think about being restrained, how a pet is often restrained and you can't just go and live your life freely the way she wanted to because she was always in bed. So I felt that maybe this red ribbon was keeping her from going out into the world like she would have liked, just like her injuries were. But then I was starting to think, she is so connected with this animal who's protecting her. Maybe it was showing their deep connection, kind of like I have with my dog when I put his leash on him and take him for a walk. We are connected. I'm holding the leash and he has it around his neck. So it could be showing two different things. My eye is drawn to the leaves and all of the curved lines that she creates in these leaves. These were actually plants that were around the Casa Azul where she lived. When I'm looking at this painting, I also am drawn to her exotic, beautiful, traditional Mexican clothing. She wore her hair in a traditional style. She dressed in a traditional style. And they were just, you could see the gold, bright colors. And this lets me know also that the painting was probably painted a long time ago because we don't typically see women dressed like this unless they were at a traditional event. This painting was also painted in 1940, so it was a long time ago, and that was a particularly hard year for Frida with all of the pain she was constantly going through in her life. Again, take another quiet look and really think about how personal this self-portrait must have been to her. We see a lot of the traditional things that Frida does include, like her soaring eagle eyebrows. She usually doesn't smile. We talked about she didn't like her teeth as well, which could be another reason that she was not smiling in her painting. Today, we are going to be starting our own self-portraits. So we'll be back together in a couple minutes. Today, you will need the following. You will need this piece of paper. It's got a template of a portrait on it if you look super closely. Your parents or family members should have come to school and picked it up along with a few other things, but that is what you will need today. It looks like this. There is also an attachment for it at the bottom of materials needed link if you weren't able to come and get it at school. And since I'm going to be working on my marker board, I'm going to show you it looks pretty much like this. And I have my outline done in brown just so that you can see that it is really supposed to be quite light, and it's really just something there to help guide us in our drawing today. You will also need a pencil with an eraser and a Sharpie marker, black or any black marker. So pause and get your materials. Welcome back. I am actually going to ask you to start with your pencil and your sheet of paper that has that template on there. It looks like the outline, a very, very faint light outline of a portrait or a face. I am going to be using my black Sharpie marker just so that you can see what I am doing. We are going to start our self-portrait by looking at it and knowing that we are going to start and include each part of our face. Now, I'm going to start with my eyes. When we think about drawing, a lot of times we think we want to put our eyes up here. But really, if you look, your eyes are about halfway down your head. Your eyes are not way up here on your eyebrow, so we don't want to put our eyes down here. We want to put our eyes about halfway down on our head. So when I do that, I'm going to evenly space them, because our faces are pretty symmetrical. They're the same on each side. And I'm going to draw this kind of arch almond on each side. I want it to look like me. And inside I will draw the circle for my eye. And I make sure that I include a pupil, that black dot, and a little reflection mark. But my eyes are not done yet because we have more to our eyes. I have eyelashes, you have eyelashes. Whether you identify as a girl or a boy, everybody has eyelashes. So we are going to add our eyelashes. And we have them on the top and bottom. Making sure I like what I've drawn. The next thing I'm going to do is add my eyebrows. We all have eyebrows. Now, eyebrows are not just drawn on arched lines. They're made of little pieces of hair. So we want to make sure our eyebrows reflect that. So we want to kind of draw our eyebrows to look like they really do. If you were Frida, you might even connect them right there. But I'm going to try to make this look like me. And Mrs. Roskowski likes to tweeze. So we have our eyebrows. If we look down, there's a second line there. That is our guide to tell us where our nose ends about, which is about halfway between your mouth. So about halfway is the bottom of your nose. So we're going to draw a nose right here. Now, I always find noses hardest to draw because our nose is not just an angled line. Our nose actually has a bit of a tip and it comes around a little. And I always find noses really hard for myself to draw. So just try your best to make a nose that you think looks like you. We are then going to go to our ears. Ears are not just these on the top side of our head like this. First of all, they're much bigger. That doesn't look like the right proportion. If you look, your ear actually starts at the same level as your eye and ends at the same level as your nose. So looking, we're going to use those two lines as a guide. And we're going to draw kind of a ear shape on each side. Now some of you, like me, might have some earrings. So you could even add that because you want it to be personal to you. I actually have 3 on this side, and then I have 2 on this side. So I'm going to include that. And I'm also going to kind of include that line in my ear. And then we're going to go to our mouths. Our mouths, again, are not just an arched line like this. This guideline here is going to help us with our mouth, because this is where we figure that our eye, the top of our mouth comes from the top of the line, the bottom of our mouth comes from there, and our mouth is actually as wide as our 2 eyes. So you want your mouth to extend as far as your eye on this side, and your mouth to extend as far to your eye on that side. You have a wide mouth. I know you don't think it, but look, your mouth is equal to your eyes. You want it to be equal to the center of your eyes going down. Have it come down on that side. And we just kind of have our lip line. Doesn't it look just like me? What do you think I'm missing? You're right, I'm not bald. And you could just hear my dog growling about that because he doesn't think I'm bald either. So I'm going to add my hair, and I'm actually wearing a hat today. So I'm going to add my hat. And then I have all my long, dark hair coming out of my hat. Oh, Melvin, be quiet. My dog keeps barking and interrupting the lesson. We're going to add our long, dark hair. And then I am also going to give myself a shirt. I want it to be personal to me, so I would choose a shirt that I love. I'm always warm, so I usually am wearing a tank top. So maybe I would add my favorite tank top. And when I am happy with my pencil drawing, I would have something like this. Here's a picture I did of myself. I tried my best, and it is done in pencil. I am then going to take my black Sharpie marker and go over my lines so I have a picture like this. Now notice, I did not trace those guidelines because as we get further in our project, next lesson, you will see that those will virtually disappear. So do not go over those guidelines in black marker. Only go over the lines that you drew to create your self-portrait. I think it kind of looks like me, right? I'll see you next time. So put this somewhere safe, and we will continue this lesson next time. Bye, guys.